Good evening and welcome back to my dwarven fortress of Esmulrakust, where we are currently in the middle of an elven ambush, as you can see by the large number of dead elves outside the front door, rotting elves in the Barbican, and possibly some live elves somewhere, never know. Probably on the unit list if nowhere else. Yes, see, plenty of live elves still. However, the elves are not our biggest problem because we've managed to push them back out of the front door and lock it behind them, or in front of them, I'm not sure which. And so they haven't brought any engineers with them, and so I think there's not much likelihood that they're actually going to get in anytime soon. We just need to clear them away because otherwise we can't have any immigrants or merchants. But there is a more urgent problem, which is that down in the caverns there is a forgotten beast. Now, there are often forgotten beasts down in the caverns, but this one is unusual in that it breathes fire. It's also unusual in that it turned out that the caverns weren't actually separated from the fortress down there, and so by some arguments it's inside the fortress. Actually, I think by reasonable arguments it's not inside the fortress now, but neither is this dwarf. And neither is all of this corridor. So, yes, we are going to have to deal with that, and I'm really not sure how. We have, yes, by building this wall, or this pillar, and this pillar, and this pillar, isolated, well, I mean, this pillar is mostly what isolates the forgotten beast from the rest of the fortress, and then these isolate a couple of bedrooms that happened to be occupied, and we have then connected those bedrooms up to the bit of the fortress that the forgotten beast isn't in. So yes, now I need to do something with this forgotten beast, ideally in a way that doesn't just leave it roaming around the caverns, incinerating everything it can see. Well, it only appears to breathe fire when it feels threatened, but it definitely feels threatened by dwarves. Okay, no, actually, it's not just when it feels threatened. It will quite happily threaten dwarves with fire. And as we can see here, there is indeed a dwarf corpse on fire as a result of an encounter with this forgotten beast. Not sure if there's another one. I thought another dwarf had died to this forgotten beast, but I can't immediately find them. So yes, forgotten beasts are trap avoidant and able to destroy doors. So you can slow one down with a locked door. You can slow it down quite a lot, but you can't stop it permanently, and it will only get caught by a trap if it's in some way lost its trap avoidance. The standard way to do that is to cause a cave-in nearby so that it will fall into the trap. We do of course have military and bolt throwers down here, with even dwarves crewing them right now, but fire is quite bad. Dwarves are quite flammable, and I fear that that if we allow the dwarves to get close enough to the forgotten beast to hurt it, well, I mean, a bolt thrower has actually quite a long range, but the ones we've got won't be able to see it from a long way off, and the forgotten beast will just be able to walk up to the other side of the wall from the bolt thrower and breathe fire through the wall, and this will be unfortunate for the operators of the bolt throwers. So I think if we're going to do something with this forgotten beast, it has to be done at a distance. How on earth am I going to get this dwarf out? So one possibility, I mean, the most optimistic possibility is we shut it into a small area, and then we construct a mechanism that can trap the forgotten beast in a cage trap, and we confirm that it can't breathe fire out of the cage, which I'm not sure about. And then we transport that up to somewhere near the main entrance and arrange that we have a Forgotten Beast powered flamethrower at the front door for incinerating elves, because obviously that would be amusing. But yes, that might be quite difficult. An alternative is just to, shut it in somewhere and not let it out ever. That would do fine. Or we could cause a cave-in on top of it, which would kill it, because cave-ins kill basically anything. Or we could keep it in a box somewhere and drop prisoners of war into it. But first, most of these start with trap the Forgotten Beast somewhere in a box. And this is difficult because it means we have to get onto the other side of it. Because currently the system of corridors it's in connects to this staircase, which connects out to the caverns at large. By accident, that wasn't meant to go out to the caverns, that mine, but I wasn't paying attention. So the current situation is, though, that this corridor, here's the Forgotten Beast, here's the dwarf who is in quite a lot of trouble, and there isn't a way currently back into the fortress from out there, and we could make one at the expense of then meaning that the Forgotten Beast could get in again until we walled off yet another little bit. And maybe that's the right thing to do. I am not sure. I mean, I think, I feel that we've got a door here and we can hold back the Forgotten Beast at that door quite easily. So I think we should try to let this dwarf out. My expectation is the dwarf will be incinerated before we can achieve that. So let's try that. So we want to let them in, let the dwarf into this bedroom so that we can use the bedroom door. I mean, then we're going to have a mess of places where the actually we should do this at the highest priority. Mess of places where the Forgotten Beast can be, and we'll have to work out how to narrow its range a bit. Possibly we cause a cave-in somewhere down here. Possibly we open one of these doors once the children are out of the way. I'm not sure. I suspect that this dwarf is not going to survive. Oh, and while we're not dealing with elves who are actually in the fortress, we should probably try to get rid of some of their rotting corpses before they upset everyone. That's a tiger corpse, that can stay. Don't think we care about horse corpses though, those are not worth butchering. Or bits of tigers. Not sure if the dwarves are actually allowed out into this area yet, because it's the one we've already marked things for dumping on. Yes. That one also has rotting elves on it. Looks like most of the rotting is going on right at the western edge of this pile of traps, so it shouldn't take very long. Leopards we'll keep because we can butcher them for reasonably valuable stuff. Teeth don't rot. I mean, they do, but not in a way that causes offence to dwarves. Right, and the top line, yes, there's more rotting elf corpses up there as well. And a horse corpse as well, which we can similarly dispose of. Right, this will tie up some dwarves, but we don't need all the dwarves to deal with the Forgotten Beast. We mostly need miners. Right, so that's a reasonable amount of the rotting elves dealt with. I suppose I could quickly check that there aren't any out here, but I don't think there are. They've left some shoes around, but that's about it. Yeah, right. Oh, there's a spare elf. You can go into the rubbish as well. Right. And they did get in as far as about here, which is why they've left a few gloves lying around here. Right, so I now want to pay attention to the Forgotten Beast because that is our big problem. So one problem this dwarf has is that they don't know where to go. Let's just check that. Okay, that miner is currently scheduled to remove a construction, but removing that construction is not actually our highest priority. So I'm going to unmark that for removal. That is, it's necessary to let this child out, but the child is not in imminent danger of starving to death. No, that's the wrong way to run, you stupid dwarf. You're running towards the Forgotten Beast. If you were to run away from the Forgotten Beast, you might live. You're on fire now. Probably. Yes, yep, that's definitely an on-fire dwarf. Right, well, maybe I shouldn't bother saving you then. Like, I think once you're on fire, you're probably not going to live, even if we do manage to get you out of there. I mean, to be fair, the being ripped apart by a Forgotten Beast is also pretty effective. Like, this Forgotten Beast will spectacularly kill you if you get close to it. It won't actually allow you to die of being burnt to death, because it will, as best it can, rip your head off before the fire gets there. Right, yep, okay, you're dead. I will cancel that attempt at saving you, because you died extremely quickly. Right, let's go back to letting that small child out then. Right, so Forgotten Beast has incinerated 2 dwarves now. So currently the Forgotten Beast can get out. I don't think we can safely stop it. I think what we're going to need to do is let it do whatever it does and take advantage of the fact that it is at least isolated from the cavern as far as we know. And maybe try to push though, and then at some point we should build a mechanism for trapping a fire-breathing Forgotten Beast. It will probably involve kittens, and possibly we can arrange it such. Ooh, Can we arrange it such that somehow when the kitten dies, it triggers the trap, I wonder? Because, like, we have this problem. Oh, yes, I think we could. Because we could have the kitten constrained to stand on a pressure plate. And the pressure plate can be configured to only be triggered by animals. And the Forgotten Beast wouldn't trigger the pressure plate by virtue of being a Forgotten Beast. And the kitten would, except once it had died, it would stop being an animal and would become an item, at which point it would stop triggering the pressure plate. And this might well work because, of course, the Forgotten Beast, being a fire-breathing Forgotten Beast, can kill the kitten without ever touching it. So we can constrain the kitten to one square, even though... And have the Forgotten Beast set fire to it from the other side of a fortification or similar. I think that works. I think it's terrifyingly dangerous, but... Dizzy, it says, wow, your pressure plates are very theological. Yes, kind of. I don't know if it... I'm not sure if this quite works, because I'm not sure how we safely set it up. Without... Because, like, we have to somehow be able to connect something to this pressure plate while ensuring that it always has a kitten on it. I mean, I suppose, can we have it triggered by water and kittens? So we could flood the room, put a kitten in there, wait for the water to dry out, connect it up and wait for the water to dry out. I don't know. Anyway, I think we have just lost the last dwarf we could save from the Forgotten Beast. And so we can now relax a bit. But, like, this may be a bit optimistic. Let's have a fairly careful explore of what those mines have done. So that mine definitely doesn't connect through here or here. It connects through here, but we've walled off there and there. And we are essentially abandoning these bedrooms, all of which are empty. It's walled off there, and it connects up to this upward stairway, which just goes into this long corridor, which is how the Forgotten Beast got in the first place, which then just joins up to the caverns. Right, so I'm fairly confident we have successfully isolated the Forgotten Beast from the main fortress. And somewhere in that cloud of smoke is a Forgotten Beast. Seb says, can you put the kitten in a cage? Would that count? I don't think it would then trigger the pressure plate. Oh, the Forgotten Beast just breathed fire again, I think. That's a bit worrying. So slightly worried about Forgotten Beasts getting, about kittens getting attacked by elves. Okay, no, I think that was just some spare fire. I mean, there will be some fire because well, or something like fire because the corpse is on fire. Right, so there goes our Forgotten Beast. Let's pay close attention to where it's going because I'm quite scared. Okay, the Forgotten Beast is heading quite in... I mean, maybe it's just heading towards these doors. And it's going to, like, knock down all the doors that it can get at. And then demolish some other furniture. Let's see, with a great deal of trepidation. Okay, it seems just to be running around in the corridors for now. That looks safe. Several dwarves are currently cut off from their bedrooms. Actually, what I should do is deallocate those bedrooms that are currently behind the Forgotten Beast. Or rather, behind the walls that are isolating the Forgotten Beast from the fortress. Because that way their inhabitants will find new bedrooms, hopefully. Possibly ones vacated by those who have been unfortunately incinerated. We've done those ones. Yes. That one is actually usable still. That one is not. Right, we might be able to make some of these bedrooms usable again, but probably what we want to do is first trap the Forgotten Beast slightly. Right, it appears that the dwarves who were incinerated have burnt completely away, apart from a couple of teeth. And some somewhat singed clothes. So yeah, that's going to need a memorial or two. All right, just thinking about what we do next. One thing we can do is to... Oh no, the burrow is already paused. Excellent. So I think that probably means that the dwarves are actually picking up bits of dead elf as we speak. Or at least heading towards picking up dead elves. Let's have a look. Well, there are at least some dump item jobs underway. So I unpaused for a moment. Oh right. Oh, did I leave that door unlocked? Oh, that's not going to work though, is it? Because now it's not marked as... it wasn't, I think, forbidden, and it wasn't marked as taken by an enemy, which means we might just have trapped the Forgotten Beast in someone's bedroom. I mean, no one's bedroom, I just deassigned it. But then we could, if we were lucky, wall it into that bedroom. How brave am I feeling? I ideally don't want to do this by demolishing walls, because that's slower than digging through them. I mean, I don't want to do it by demolishing constructed walls, because that's slower than digging through them. So, but the thing is that at the moment, what I want to do really is to build a wall here to seal the Forgotten Beast into these two bedrooms. The problem with that is that that means that a dwarf has to get into the bit that I've currently isolated from the rest of the world, which means we have to find somewhere where you can dig through to get into it from the fortress. So... And ideally we want that to be somewhere where, having dug through there will be a door that can be used to control things if things get out of hand. Ideally, a door that already exists. So what we should do is dig into one of these bedrooms, so that then that door can be the controlling, the backup door. Right. So what we do is, with high priority, we mine that square there. Right, the Forgotten Beast is currently trying to knock that door down. I'm a bit worried that this is going to be too quick. But maybe that's not a problem, because maybe we unlock some other doors. so that there are multiple bedrooms that the Forgotten Beast can get itself shut in succession. Maybe we unlock that door again. Like, if the Forgotten Beast just keeps moving around, we don't want it to be knocking doors down until we're ready for it. No, because then it will tend to attack this one, won't it? No, let's put that back to forbidden for now and see if we can see what happens. I think kind of nervous about this, which is going to be the best approach. So if we let it out, well, I don't know that. I mean, it has immediately gone to trying to knock this door down, hasn't it? So I'm a bit worried, but it didn't do that earlier. Like, these doors were forbidden, and it didn't go to immediately knocking them down. So I think maybe it's just trying to knock it down because it's constrained. Right. Where's it going now? Is it going to try to knock down a different door? Because that would be unfortunate. Oh, right, it's going down there. Excellent, that's fine. That door is officially passable. Okay, now it's trying to knock that door down. That's a bit more of a problem. I mean, we can let it through that door temporarily. I suppose, yes, we do that. We keep distracting it with different doors. Right, now it's got bored with that door. Right, a miner has turned up. My expectation is that the Forgotten Beast will be fairly slow at knocking doors down. So I think now we lock that door. Dizzy says, do the doors have a persistent HP stat? If not, you could keep leading it to attack different doors and never destroy any of them. Yes, I was wondering that, and I don't know. Right, I'm going now, perhaps optimistically, to try to wall it in there. So that door is forbidden. My hope is the Forgotten Beast will take long enough to knock that door down. Maybe I should have prepared for this a bit harder. Is someone actually coming to do that? Because this does have to be fairly quick. Yes, they are. Though it will be quite a long walk. Who are you and what are you doing here? No, you may not store an item in a stockpile. I don't care how important you think it is. Don't you dare open that door. In fact, I'm going to temporarily forbid it, even though that will probably cause some trouble for the building work. Right. So here is our dwarf with some blocks. Going to do an incredibly dangerous job. The question is, who can they get that wall built before the Forgotten Beast knocks down the door? No, 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 stop it. I am single stepping building a wall, which is not the usual thing I would do. I am now slightly worried that we should have found someone who was an extremely skilled mason or something for this job. Partially constructed. Unfortunately, we don't have a marker on the door saying almost demolished. The Forgotten Beast has just stepped back from the door. Well, that's good. Right. Well done. Congratulations to Kerol Esmulrakust, who has not been immolated by a Forgotten Beast because he managed to build the wall faster than the Forgotten Beast could demolish the door. So now the Forgotten Beast is constrained within those 2 bedrooms. Still don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I feel quite comfortable with the Forgotten Beast being constrained into 2 bedrooms. I don't know. Probably. I don't think we can actually drop the trap in. We have to drop the Forgotten Beast into the trap, or something, or arrange a route up for the Forgotten Beast into the trap, or something like that. But I think for now, like while we're still at war with the elves, I'm quite happy to sacrifice a couple of bedrooms to a Forgotten Beast. There is the slight problem that we need to make a new way through to this to these bedrooms, but we can do that by going around the blockage to the north. That will kind of mess up that bedroom to the north, so then we'll probably want to install new walls in that bedroom and faff, but just looking, is there a better way to do that? No, there isn't really a corresponding corridor on the level above. There is a not quite corresponding corridor on the level below. How about if we just build a staircase? Where would it need to be if it was going to work well? The problem is that most of the obvious places to build the staircase, it ends up connecting up with someone's bedroom. Actually, if we built a staircase upwards there, no, that would land squarely in someone's bedroom there. No, it needs to be in the corridor, doesn't it? So we could do a downward stairway there and an upward stairway there, can't we? Something like that. Right. We need to dig it downwards first. I think I can do that as a start. Currently, these are all connected up by the temporary staircases I put in order to connect up the children's bedrooms, but we don't want to have those be part of the permanent fortress, even if we do have a semi-permanent fire-breathing forgotten beast. Right. Meanwhile, like in other things, we should isolate these mines from the cavern, or rather, I think actually we should isolate the fortress from the mines. So I'm just going to resume the construction of that wall there. Right. Oh, I need to open the inner drawbridge if we're going to clear out those dead elves, don't I? Yes, that will make life a lot easier. Right, let's do that. Actually, let's unforbid that door. Then the Forgotten Beast won't demolish it. It can just run back and forth between its two bedrooms. And we can now remove the crew from the... We have slightly too many cats, I think. Remove the crew from the lower bolt throwers and send them back up to the front of the fortress again. Actually, let's leave it like that. Let's just have them crew one of the front bolt throwers, and I think we can safely connect the fortress back up to the caverns, but let's just have a quick look. Yeah, none of the wild animals look terrifying. So we can open the cavern drawbridge again. I mean, I suppose if we're going to do that, ideally we would leave someone crewing the lower bolt thrower for safety. Let's do that. Okay, everyone is now leaving through the mines I'm about to wall off. Yes, so let's open the lower barbican. How is it closed? I think I closed the outer bridge. The outer bridge is definitely closed. The inner bridge is open, right. So now we have a downward stairway here, and we then can I now build an upward stairway to there? I can. Then I think I can cancel that one because we only need the lower half of the upward stairway, because we carved the upper one out of limestone, out of solid limestone anyway. I think I have a temporary wall here that we can cancel because that's no longer required to keep the Forgotten Beast out or in. Similarly, we can demolish that wall and that wall. Those are no longer required to keep the Forgotten Beast in place. Fic Odom Zareth has been found dead, by which we mean we found 4 of his teeth. Right, where was I? I had somewhere where I was burying all of the dead from this.
That's one of those clairvoyance things, isn't it? You find the teeth, and for some reason you're sure they belong to a dead dwarf rather than a live dwarf.
I mean, yes, Simon says it's some kind of clairvoyance that you know that they belong to a dead dwarf. I mean, the enormous pile of ash nearby might have been a bit of a giveaway. So we're going to need to install a few more coffins down here, I fear. We can release the military. They're not going to have to. Oops, not going to have to defend against that Forgotten Beast. Right. So now we've knocked down the various temporary some of the temporary walls we put in. So this room is now connected up to its normal corridor. So that means we can wall off that again. The staircase we should probably wait a little bit before doing. Yes, I've cancelled the relevant alert so that I will not be surprised by the next one. Well, so yes, correct. So that I will be surprised by the next one because it will actually happen while I'm watching. Right, so that's that wall demolished. That is passable, so therefore we can pave over those stairs. And similarly, those stairs still aren't built, right. More elves have turned up at the front door, and we've shot at them vigorously. Not, I think, actually successfully shot them vigorously, but shot in the general direction.
I unclog my boat for your direction.
Yes. Right, so now that staircase connects up the bedrooms in this corner to the useful part of the fortress. Yes, it's quite practical to get into the fortress down there. And we have a couple of unfortunate dwarves who have suddenly discovered that the route they were planning to take into the fortress is blocked because we've built a wall here. Right, that's all good. now that that staircase is in place, we can pave over this one. And that will then mean that I think then everything is reasonably organised. None of the bedrooms are weirdly connected to one another or anything like that. Right, so now we should create a couple more tombs up here. Sorry, yes, that mode. And that will then give us somewhere to put at least one of the incinerated dwarves. Okay, we do actually need even more. Right, so I'm quite comfortable with our Forgotten Beast situation. I think we've fixed the hole in the fortress that let it in. We have confined it to a couple of rooms. Frankly, we will worry about what to do about it later. Like, it's probably over a century old anyway. Keeping it around for a little bit longer won't matter. It's apparently 383 years old in a world that's only 130 years old. Right, and the dwarves are hauling corpses out of the Barbican and disposing of them, ready for the next batch of elves to be let in to their doom. There seem to be a lot of crossbow bolts getting fired there without much by way of like actual success. Okay, if that's that's a rotting horse corpse, right? Get rid of it. Right, you I think got burnt so vigorously there isn't actually any of you left. So we're going to need to make a memorial for you. Oh dear, everything's going sluggish. Ready. Look, it's only 23:47. That's one of the things I forgot to do. Run top to see how we're doing for swap. Ooh, surprisingly poorly actually. Right, let's do that, and then that. In in the hope that... sorry, I'm being slightly cautious about X-Wayland. Still got 8 gigabytes free, we'll be fine. So that we can memorialise that remaining dwarf. So, how are we doing for tombs? There are some more tombs, good. Rather not yet tombs. Let us stop them being part of someone's bedroom. And turn them into tombs instead. Why are you not? Oh, because that's in delete mode, right, Stoats? Right, 2 more tombs. Give them a couple of seconds and they'll probably be... Oh, of course, we're allocating tombs to all of the dead immigrants outside. That's why all of these tombs are getting allocated and not getting anything put in them. Because, like, there's an entire mob of dead immigrants out the front of the fortress. Right, let's assume that there are lots of them. Oops. Yes, that's fine. Right. You wanted the back of your bedroom to be an entire mass of graves, didn't you? Oh, yes. Did it suggest that maybe I could reassign them manually and put the outside dwarves in the outside tombs? Go on then, yes. This is going to be slightly annoying because cancelling these is actually more effort than constructing them. I mean, it's not like there's that much of a shortage of space down here. But on the other hand, it is faffy to build them, and we don't need them yet. I think we can reassign them still. No, we can't. Once the tomb has been assigned, it can't be deassigned. So actually I have to install one more batch of coffins and manually assign them the moment I make them into tombs. Right. Just having a look around to see if there's anything still rotting in here. There was a hint of miasma there, but it seems to have cleared up. I think we've got rid of all the rotting bits of... Oh no, there's one. There's one. I think in particular some of these bits of dead elves have to be prized out of the traps first. Right, so now what we can do is we can go... We want a tomb for Ficod Odom Zareth. So we will assign one of these. We'll create one tomb down there. Actually, no, first we remove parts of that bedroom. And then we create one tomb. We create one tomb there, accept, and then assign it to Ficod Odom Zareth. That says has grave. Where's Ficod Odom Zareth's grave then? Has we actually managed to get them assigned a grave? Yes, there it is. Okay, I don't think we do need that one to be assigned, so let's mark that as don't auto bury for now. Yes. Because I think that's everyone whose bodies we have found. Right, I think now we want to unforbid everything in the Barbican. So that we can do things with them if we feel like it. In particular, we can retrieve the spare crossbow bolts. Aha, I think we've managed to shoot someone finally. Yeah, that looks like someone getting quite vigorously shot. Good. But they've passed out now, so they won't get shot for a little while. Right. I am now feeling that maybe I do need to exit Dwarf Fortress and get some memory back. And also going, do I stop now? I don't want to actually. I think I'm going to carry on a bit longer this evening. So I'm going. There will be a brief pause while I suspend Dwarf Fortress, or rather save my current state, and then muck around to get my memory back, and then we'll carry on for probably like half an hour or so. Because I feel that we should get slightly more of the elf situation dealt with. Come along, save the world. Right, that's that done. Exit Dwarf Fortress. Exit Emacs as well. Restart X Wayland. Restart Dwarf Fortress. Attach that to the window capture again and reload. Yes, I feel the elves are have been a bit neglected recently, and I would like to get them back to feeling attended to. Right, we are back. So, yes, let's wait for the dwarves to finish collecting all the crossbow bolts from down there. I did spot a mob of elves somewhere. What did you die of? I think you died of someone getting in there and shooting you, didn't you? We need to improve that system. There's at least a few living, if badly injured, elves. They do seem to be kind of wandering off, but I don't know if they're actually wandering off. There's an awful lot of random stuff down there. Let's just have a quick look at our Forgotten Beast to make sure it's in the correct place. Yes, yes. I'm quite comfortable now with the Forgotten Beast situation. Yes, you see, a Forgotten Beast will be much better at dealing with fast-moving elves than the bolt thrower is. Though that one did manage to get a few hits in. Mostly getting the passing human in the shins. They can no longer walk, it appears. Seriously injured. That's what you get for running past the entrance to the fortress. It would be really good to get the Forgotten Beast, replace this catapult with the Forgotten Beast. Obviously, we then need a system for shutting off the Forgotten Beast so that it can't actually attack us. But good night, Claire. So what we need to do in order to capture the Forgotten Beast, what we want is to construct a room with a cave-in generator on one side, and some traps on the other side, and the Forgotten Beast in between them somehow. As Diziot points out, the bolt thrower has the advantage that it automatically doesn't kill infinite dwarves. It's true, but it's not as spectacular as having a fire-breathing Forgotten Beast on the at the entrance to your fortress. Like, does it have a personality? It does have a personality. It has great creativity. Four stubby horns, emaciated, light brown scales, fire breathing, quick to tire, but like it doesn't need to tire, doesn't need to be slow to tire because you'll be dead before it tires. So there's a mob of elves over here who seem to be trying to decide what to do. I think we may actually have run out of storage for crossbow bolts, you know. Because, like, oops. Yeah, there's no task set to put those bolts anywhere. No store item in stockpile or store item in bin tasks that look relevant. You're storing something in a bin. What are you storing in bin? You're storing arrows. You're taking 26 arrows to the crossbow bolt, to the trap, putting one arrow in there, and then taking 5 arrows back to the bin. This is not an efficient way to load a weapon trap. You have better ways of loading bolt throwers. Can you not also apply that technique to weapon traps? Suppose we could probably make some more traps, couldn't we? Like, have we got a quantity of wooden swords that we can stick in it? You might think that the elves would start noticing that there's an enormous pile of dead elves out here and they should perhaps not go that way. This is our weapon stockpile. I just want to check. We do currently allow wooden weapons in our weapon stockpile. We might want to stop doing that. It does mean we're storing them all in an unhelpful place. Right. Let's wait for this new weapon trap to be constructed. Nearly done. And then I think I won't worry too much about reloading this one, because apparently the dwarves are insistent on doing it horrifically inefficiently. We've dealt with all the dead elves at least, so I think we should let the next batch in just as soon as we've got another weapon trap built for them. Right, so that weapon trap is built. So now I think I should unpause that burrow in order to encourage people out of the Barbican. There is, slightly annoyingly, a mechanic not doing anything but just hanging around. Suppose we can technically close the inner drawbridge and let them use the one-way door to get out. Just a bit confused about what they're doing there. Oh, they're the thing that's spamming my messages with drop off inaccessible. Okay. Let's briefly pause that again so that they can actually find the drop off. Right. And now we'll unpause that burrow again. Right, so now I think we can safely close the inner drawbridge. We can reconfigure the siege engines in a more entertaining arrangement. What? What are you doing out there? I told you not to do that. I'm going to have to unpause, or pause rather, the stockpile so that you can drop that item off again. There's probably a bunch more bits of animals that we want to dispose of, isn't there? Before it rots. Or indeed after it rots, apparently. Yeah, I almost got there in time. Right, the inner drawbridge is now closed. There is still a way in for elves technically, but they're probably not going to be able to take advantage of it. I would like to wait for someone to be staffing this bolt thrower. Ideally, but maybe I'll get bored. What are my surviving siege operators doing then? Oh, right, one of them's asleep and one of them's praying. It feels like maybe we don't have enough of them. Let's allow rank amateurs to help, by which I mean I'll find a couple more people to add to the list. I feel that having a legendary weaponsmith as a siege operator is a bit silly, but right, we have a rank amateur at that bolt thrower, but it probably doesn't matter because not many people will get that far through. Let us open the narrow outer drawbridge and see if the elves turn up and say hello. Assuming there are any of them left. See if there are any of them left. Oh, no, the elves have gone home. There are no elves in the other creatures list. Well then, right, post-siege checklist then. Syrups of starting should be set to be ready. Siege operators should be despecialised. Only just appointed one. The front siege engines should be set to load, and the practice bolt thrower should be set to training. The main burrow should be paused. The pasture and war dogs should be unpaused. That one was already unpaused. The Barbican wagon bridge should be extended. The inner drawbridge should be retracted. The outer drawbridges should both be lowered. And that's about it, really. And then an enormous number of elf skeletons should be disposed of. But we should actually do that once we're unpaused, because otherwise so that's not an exciting message, that's not an exciting message. So now we probably want to make some more a bunch of tombs out here for the for our unfortunate recent immigrants who never really got to immigrate. I don't know quite how many of them there are, but I think it's quite a lot. I'm going to dig a little tomb for them there. Well, the priority set stupid. Oh no, it's not set stupidly because I restarted. Right, yes, not surprising. We'll try to get people buried reasonably swiftly. Elves, of course, do not get burial, they just get crushed. I mean, it's kind of burial, I suppose. That's gone while we weren't looking good. We've struck jelly opal while attempting to dig a tomb, apparently. Right. Don't know quite how many immigrants there were, so let's try to install 9. Things up there, coffins up there, and see how many of them end up being filled. Right, so that's the elves around the main entrance disposed of. Let's go a little further afield. There shouldn't be anyone very far afield because most of them should have been killed by the bolt throwers rather than by anything else. Bolt thrower singular, in fact. But some of them managed to stagger a little distance away before dying. Oh, there's probably some bits down in the moat, aren't there? Surprisingly few, actually. Seems that dying at the bottom of the moat is not popular. Right, so we actually allocated enough tombs already. That's a bit embarrassing. Right. Oh, it's the start of autumn. In that case, maybe we don't actually need to make all of these tombs. I think let's have a stock of them for next time. I think, or do we wall in that one? Like, we haven't actually had like your actual necromancer turning up and raising our dead yet. So I'm not too worried about leaving one occupied tomb that a theoretical necromancer might be able to get at. However, that one is not actually assigned to anyone because I set it don't assign, didn't I? What I'll do is I will delete that tomb, remove those coffins, and then build a wall across there at least once there are no place item in tomb jobs active. Why is that flashing? It's not scheduled for demolition, because that would be silly. Oh, because there's another coffin on that square, right, yes. Let's just make a small coffin stockpile. What's that message? I'll go and look at that. Oh, that's sparring. Yes, that's not a problem. Yes, Dizzy is quite correct that the that ghosts, that buried dwarves can give rise to ghosts if they get unburied, and indeed Keskalokil suffered from that. Right, now there's no weird flashing going on there, so let's quickly build a wall across here. Oops, that got built out of arbitrary materials, didn't it? Because I was still in do it all automatically mode. Okay, now we may be delivering too many spare coffins up here. Yes, have to remember, don't actually seal the whole thing in yet, because we do still need to finish burying people. Lots of exciting messages in the logs, but they're actually just military type sparring. What are you doing down there, eh? All right, your people are now going out and cleaning the blood off the front of the fortress. Well, that's nice. I think if we've reached that point, then we'll start unforbidding enormous piles of weaponry and such. I think we may be doing stupid things like bringing in all the wooden armour that the elves have left behind. Possibly I need to sort out some sane stockpiles for this sort of thing. Possibly I need to dump it all. Right, do we still have any place item in tomb jobs going on? Yes. How about now? Yes. Have a stressed siege operator who's going out to collect, who is now dizzy because they don't like being outside, but is pressing on because it is essential that they collect something, don't get run down by the trains. Presume there's something you're going to collect and it's like one tooth from an unfortunate immigrant. It is quite a long walk. Oh, you're feeling better now. Yes, you are carrying a tooth. It does appear to be the last tooth from that pile, though. Let's see if we can add another trap down here. What is there here that's weapons that we wouldn't ever think of using? Oh no, we don't do spears. That's wrong. Wooden spears go down in the moat. Wooden swords, on the other hand, we've got enough for one more trap. Ooh, not so sure about bows. Bows are awkward because people insist on loading them. Oops, not the spear. Oh well, there will be a spear in there, even though I didn't want there to be a spear in there. I'm not going to go trying to remove them. Remove it. So that's our big pile of arrows. So how about we build a trap that contains bows right next to it? It won't be quite such a long walk to fill it full of arrows. Right, and we should set up some more upright spear traps down here. How many have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's not install another batch now. Right, so that's the okay, I think that's the point at which I was about to say that's the tidying up mostly completed. We should stop for the night now. And I now get a message. The forgotten beast Rohir Lurdiquazi has come. A gigantic blob composed of salt. It has a square shell and it appears to be emaciated, as if you can work that out of a blob composed of salt. Okay, I feel this button is just right. It possibly needs an ellipsis at the end. Okay. Right. Hello, oh gigantic blob composed of salt. You say vision lost, you mean it could never see because it's a blob made of salt? Right, well, I'm not sure how we'll deal with that. I think we might let that one come up and say hello to us and then fill it full of crossbow bolts. Because I suspect it can't do very much. But that will be a matter for Sunday. For now, I'm going to save and say good night. Good night.